Hey guys, happy Thursday. Oh my God, it's Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday. Oh my gosh, it's been a week. How you guys doing? So, I wanted to come on here today to kind of test the waters a bit and do a new segment of a live. And I wanted to call it short stories. So, short stories with Monica. And hey, Deborah. Hey, Paula. How are you? I wanted to call it short stories. Um, you know, Now this came to me very inspired. So I was just minding my own business on Sunday, and the thought kind of floated into my brain like a feather. And you always know it's spirit inspiring an idea. Well, for me anyway, and it's how it is, because it's very subtle, and it just kind of floats in and then lands. So that's kind of what happened. Hey, Beth from Tennessee. Let me just kind of, I got to move all this over here. I'm doing this all a little bit different here. Let's see here. Let me just see where we are because I got to do my own comments. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Kat. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Terry. Hi, Susan, honey. How are ya? Hi, Sandy. How you guys doing? Hey, Sherry. Hi, Beth Ann. How you guys doing? How's the weather in Tennessee? Where are you guys coming in from? Let's see. Excited for tonight. Oh, thanks, Sandy. Hey, Tracy. How are you, honey? How's your son? How are you doing, sweetheart? So I'm kind of managing all this on my own here, but I feel confident. So anyway, I'm going to do these short little stories, and I think it's a wonderful way to kind of help people have an understanding of what comes from a mediumship session, and the beautiful healing that happens, and how our loved ones know what it is that we need to hear, right? Because that's really important, because we want to receive readings, and we want to hear from our loved ones, and there's something about us that we need to hear. And these letters are lovely because not these letters, these the readings are really lovely because our loved ones know. And so anyway, I decided to do this, and I don't have really any big idea of how it's going to work. I'm just kind of going with it because that's how I roll. And I get inspired, and then I go. And I get inspired, and I go. And so, in these sessions, I might do multiple, short stories. Today, I'm going to do one because I want to explain to you why it was selected as the first story. I think it's kind of interesting, and um, you know, it's kind of interesting how it came together. And so I want to kind of share that. So I want to do that. Let's see. Hey, Amber. Hey, Kayla. Hi, Maria. Hey, Melissa. How are you guys? Oh, from Houston. Hey, guy. Hi, beautiful. Um, 80s and sunny in Tennessee. Wow, good for you. Good. You're from North Dakota, Amber. Wonderful. Las Vegas. Hey, Deborah. I'm going there this weekend. Um, let's see here. Hey, Heidi. Hey, Nina. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Diane. How are you, honey? So thanks for chiming in, guys. So thanks for giving the love and the support, and supporting me on my very first live for short stories. So I'll get kind of into it because there's a little bit to it, and I want to explain it. So I'm sitting on Sunday. I get this feather drops in my mind, and I get this idea to do short stories. And so I go with it. So I create this little ad to post on Facebook. Did you see it with the little thing coming in, and you can hear from the can? Hey, Vicky, I love that. And so I had so much fun with that. So that was really fun. So I'm sitting on my computer, and I just finished creating the ad, and I just finished doing a bunch of work. I'd worked all day Sunday on my computer, and I'm sitting, and I just finished, and I think to myself, what will be the first story? What should the first story be? Hmm. As I say that in my mind, as I'm thinking this, I hear an email come in to my inbox, and because it makes a noise, and I'm like, huh. So I pause from my thought of what's the story going to be, and I check my email. And hi Veronica, and the email, it's very interesting. This email is from a client, well, not somebody who came to one of my shows 2 years ago almost. So it was back from February 2009, 2018, 2019, February 2019. So I received this email and I recognized the name, but I wasn't quite sure who it was. So I read the email, and it's this chain of emails from her and I back and forth. So this is a woman that received a message from me in a live audience demonstration that I did. And so I want to explain that a little bit. So I received this email, and when I'd given her the reading, in front of an audience, she had emailed me afterwards and asked for video footage of it. And I, of course, agreed. And so I sent it to her because I happened to have had it. And so we back and forth a little bit. And then I haven't heard from this woman since. And so I think about what story is it going to be? I get this email. Here comes this woman that's giving me an email from an email chain from almost 2 years ago. And I read it, and the email says, "He is the light in all pictures." That's it. Not hi Monica, not hi anybody, just he is the light in all pictures. And I was like, whoa. And immediately I feel, a spiritual connection. Instantly I feel a spiritual connection because I was just thinking, what story? And this woman had she had a specific circumstance to her reading, and I'm going to share that with you. So I thought, that's interesting. And this was an audience reading I did. I never spoke about this, publicly, although it was done over in a public audience, and the woman was fine for me to share, but I never did. And so here I get this email, and I thought, well, isn't that interesting? So I emailed back and I said, I said, did you just email me this? And did you just email me, he is the light in all pictures? And I get a response back the next day, and it's from the woman's daughter. And the daughter responds to me and says, oops, I sent that email to my mother. And she said, yesterday I was looking on my computer for the download of a video that you sent. And I thought, of the video that you sent us. And I thought, And so I thought, interesting. So this girl, this daughter, was never on my email chain. So she wasn't on my email chain. So there was no reason for any of this. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I thought, well, isn't that interesting? I said, so here I am thinking, what's the story going to be? Then at the same time I have that thought, I get this email that was from almost 2 years ago. It comes from the daughter, who I never had any email connection with whatsoever. The sentence in the email was very spiritual and beautiful. And I thought, this is so weird. And the timing that the daughter was just looking on her computer for a download of a video that I had sent her mother, and then she sends her mother an email, but the email gets sent to me. What do you think about that, first of all? I am, so anyway, so isn't that interesting? So I thought, okay, so I took that as okay, I think I need to share this story. So that's what I'm going to share. So here it goes. It's February 2019. I'm in an audience reading, and I want to explain to you how this woman came to me, because that's also interesting. So I'm getting ready. I'm on stage. I'm up the front. I'm just starting. The room is packed. There's literally not an extra seat open. Every ticket that was sold had a chair and no more. We could do no walk-ins. There was nothing available. All the tickets were sold, and I had just begun stepping up and talking to the audience. And this woman comes into the hotel room, into the banquet room, and she comes in with another girl who's younger. And I waved them in and I said, come on in. There's literally 2 seats open and they're fourth row from the front, side by side. So they come in and they sit down and I do my readings. So I give all my readings. I'm giving a reading, a reading, a reading, a reading, a reading. And then I'm getting towards the end of the night and I feel a young man with me. And I feel there's a young man that's in the early 20s. And I said, huh. So I said, I have a gentleman here. He's a young guy, early 20s. He's given me a skateboard and I feel he's kind of like a brother. Would you understand? Who would understand that? And somebody in one of those two, the younger girl raised her hand in third, fourth row. And I said, you can understand that. And I said, would you understand a skateboard with this person? She says, yes. So I said, bring the mic to her. And so I went to talk to her. And I said, you would understand a gentleman in the spirit world that's a young guy in his 20s, rode a skateboard. Yes. Skateboard specific. Yes. Great. I said, would you understand a brother connection? He goes, not my brother, but just like a brother. I said, did he call you like a brother? Yes. I mean, did he call you like a sister and you said you're like my brother? Yes. I said, okay, perfect. I said, he wants to talk to his mother. Are you in contact with his mom? And she looked at me, she smiled, and she said, yes. And then I looked to the woman that the lady she came with, and I said, are you the mother? And she says, yes. So I said, you have a son in spirit? And she says, yes. And I said, he passed in his early 20s. And she says, yes. I said, gosh, he really loved your pancakes. Can you understand that? And she laughed and she says, yes, Biscuit pancakes. And I said, loved them, loved Biscuit pancakes. He loved them. He really loved them so much. And I really feel he was kind of coming in this way to kind of soften her a little bit, to kind of get her comfortable a little bit in ease. And I'll explain why. And I said, okay. I said, well, your son is here. And I said, he shows me really big pictures, like huge pictures. Would you understand that? And she says, yes, all over the house, at the kitchen table also. And I said, perfect, where he used to eat his pancakes. And she smiled. And I said, and then I started like really pacing on the stage. I start pacing. I'm going like this. And I start to move really fast. And her son is getting me to move really fast. And he just starts making me walk like this. And I'm pacing. And then I feel a little bit like this. And I feel a little bit frantic-y. And I feel just kind of like that. And then I start moving like this. And I start moving like this. And I start moving like this. And I said, your son is making me do this. I said, your son passed tragically. And she starts crying and she said, yes. And I said, he makes me aware. I said, I see a gun. Would you understand a gun? And she says, yes. And I said, he passed with many people. And she says, yes. And I said, he wants you to know that he was very brave. He wants you to know that your son is telling me to tell you that he was a bit of a leader that night for all the others, that he helped others. He passed with many people. And he wants you to know he was very brave and he was a leader and he helped the others. And I said, he wants you to know, he says, Mom, you would be very proud of me. You would be so proud of me. And she got very emotional. And then he makes me aware, like he says, he wants to thank everybody for all the ways that his memory is being remembered. He says he wants to thank everyone for the t-shirts, for the really cool t-shirts. And they start laughing. They said the t-shirts are in their trunk. We have all the t-shirts we made for him in the car. And I said, really? I said, but they were cool t-shirts, right? Because he's really making a big thing about it. She goes, yes, very cool. And I said, he wants to say thank you for that. And he wants to come forward and say thank you to everybody for their incredible generosity, for their families, for his family, for him, and for his best friend. And then the whole audience gasped. And I said, he's with his best friend. And he says, and she says, yes. And then they start talking about street signs. And I said, your son was a bit of a prankster. Can you understand that? And she says, yes. I said to the girl that was next to the mom, I said, he used to tease you a lot. And she says, all the time. I said, it never stopped. She goes, never, all day long. He was a prankster. And she says, yes. And I said, he's showing me a street sign. Would you understand why your son is giving me a street sign? And she says, they start laughing. They said, he would steal them. I said, the street signs. And she says, yes. And I said, well, isn't that a little prankster? And she says, yes. And so we kind of go on here. And I said, he brings me to the funeral, and he wants to say thank you for the song that was sung, this song. And there's many people at this funeral. There's many people. And she says, yes. And I said, and he wants to talk about this song and how beautiful he loved the song that was sung at the funeral. And the mom says, yes, there was a special song, and somebody reached out to the artist, and the artist sang it a cappella at the funeral. And I said, well, he loved it so much. And he started talking about all these different things. And he says, I said to him, to the son, I was talking to the son, and I said, can you tell me, what do you want to say to your mom? Why are you here? And besides wanting to thank everybody, and apparently there was huge support in the community for that family and for the victims in that terrible shooting. And he was coming in with such gratitude for everyone in the community. And he wanted to say thank you for all the ways that everyone was being helpful to his family and to everybody else. He was just overwhelmed. So he wanted to come forward and say thank you for everybody in the community. And then I said, what do you want to say to your mom? And he says, tell my mom that I didn't suffer. Tell my mom I didn't have any pain. And so I said that to the mother, and she broke down in tears. And she says, that has been my biggest fear. That has been my greatest fear, that my son suffered. And he came in to tell his mom that he didn't, and that he was very brave, and that he was much of a leader. And it was an overwhelming reading, because the entire audience, I think, knew who was coming in except for me. When that whole thing happened, I was working in Europe during that whole incident. It was a massive shooting that went on. And this reading came 3 months after it. So 3 months after the passing of this woman's beautiful son is when she came into for a reading. But I want to tell you about that as well, because that's interesting also. So first of all, her son knew exactly what his mom needed. He knew that she needed to know that he didn't suffer, that he wasn't in any pain. He knew she needed that. That is the message she needed. And I always say, Spirit comes forward and gives you what you need. And out of all the things that could have been said, he used that opportunity to thank the community and to thank all the people in all the different ways. But then he also went specific to his mom to let her know that, which was enormous. And what was interesting about this too is that woman showed up late. I was already on stage, and I find out after she didn't even have a ticket to that event. Somebody gave her a ticket. She had a friend who purchased the tickets to come to my event, and then that friend got called out of town. And so that friend at the last minute gave those tickets to that lady and brought the girl. And I find that really interesting, because she didn't even have a ticket, but that young man, her beautiful son, used the friend to organize the ticket, because maybe mom wouldn't have bought one. And then the friend had the tickets and then convinced the woman to come. And then she comes in late, not on the roster, sits right there, and she's the last reading of the night. And she got this wonderful healing message from her son. And, you know, in audience readings, you have short messages, right, that go so we can work the room. But he utilized that time to put his mom's heart at ease. And I really think that's beautiful. And I also think that he used her friend as a vehicle to get his mother exactly where he needed her to be, where I was going to be, and where she can receive a message from him. And the spirit world is always supporting us, and the spirit world is always wanting to help us up and help us forward if we pay attention. And how wonderful that she took the tickets and showed up, right? And, you know, it was interesting too, because next week, I used to live in that community, but I moved in 2015. And so when a week or two later, I showed back up to that same town, as I still had doctors there. And so I was going to a doctor's appointment. And as I drove to the doctor, it was nearby where the mass shooting was. There was 12 people who were shot that night. And there was 12 victims. And that bar was nearby my doctor's office. And as I pulled up, again, because I didn't live there anymore, so I didn't really know all that was going on. But as I pulled up, I saw this whole corner of, candles and pictures. What do you call those? Like a visual, like this wonderful, like little memorial on this corner. And I knew instantly, because of where it was located, that it was part of that shooting. I pulled my car over. I pulled that car over and I got out of my car and I walked and I looked at every picture and I saw the picture of her son and his best friend that he was with, and and all of it. And I got so emotional. I started pouring tears out of my eyes, uncontrollable tears. And you would think, was that tears? Were you feeling all of the loved ones and possibly, but really, what I was feeling when I was seeing all the candles and the pictures and the signage and the hearts and the flowers and all of these things, and seeing all the pictures of all these younger kids and even older people, and it just took me over. But what I felt in that moment was love. And you would think that I would have felt, something else, but I felt incredible love. And I felt love for the community. I mean, it gets me emotional now when I'm talking about it. I felt such love for the community that there was such love and kindness, and like the boy said, generosity that was being expressed to all the victims and their families. And it was so gorgeous and so beautiful and so tragic. It had this tragedy and this beauty where a community came together to be there for one another. And I have never felt more proud to live, to have had lived in a community with that much love in the hearts of people in that community, that I never felt prouder of being a part of that community for the many, many years I'd lived there. And although I didn't live there anymore, in that moment, I absolutely missed living there. I felt such love for everybody that was living there and all the love that they were expressing. It was so overwhelming. And I think about, this mom and all the victims. And another coincidental thing is this anniversary of this mass shooting is in 2 weeks. Isn't that interesting? So there's a lot of little interesting little things that have to do with this message, So I think a little bit like, why do I feel Spirit wanted to use this message, this story? Is it maybe because the world feels so tragic at the moment? Is it because we're not feeling a lot of love maybe from others because of all that's going on in the world? Is it because the anniversary is coming up? Maybe is it because it's a way to express through the chain of how the mom came to see me and the love from the lady who bought the tickets and then couldn't go and then gifted it to her, and then her son came through, and how the spirit world worked to get that mom there? Is that why the spirit world wanted to use that story? It was, maybe it's all of it. What do you think? I would love to know. What do you think about that? Because this was such an enormous tragedy, and I never spoke about it. And even though it was done in a public setting, and even though the mom was fine with me sharing, I still never did, because I wanted to always be respectful to everyone. And it was very fresh. It was 3 months in when the reading came, and so I never spoke about it publicly. And I probably never would have had I not received that email at the exact time I was thinking of the story. What should it be at the right? It was all these synchronicities that really made me feel and believe that it was something that needed to be shared. And so I just think that I think this is for us to kind of understand that there is a lot of love around us in our life that that we have to understand that when I walked the street and I saw that corner and I saw all the love that was being expressed for all those victims and their families and their friends, it was so overwhelming, and I was so taken aback by the amount of love expressed, and that's really so beautiful. And that son came in the beginning to kind of ease his mom with the pancakes and the biscuit, and he talked about other things too, specific things about him having a specific race truck, and his dad driving it, and him having the keys, and he put me in the truck. I mean, there's other things, but I wanted to keep this kind of short, this story, because there's little pieces to it that I wanted to kind of have you connect to it. And I don't know. I think that it was, I just think there were so many synchronicities to kind of let you know, like, Spirit's always working around us. Spirit's always working for our betterment and for our benefit and for our healing. And um, I don't know. That was, I don't think I would have made that my first story to kick it off, but I trust Spirit, and I know that there was a reason why it needed to be. And so, anyway, what do you guys think about that? Let me just see here. Her son wanted you to be his medium and went through hoops to set this up. Yes, Terry. Sometimes, right? Because it's like, it was very interesting how to get the mom there. And like, how do you get the mom there to be able to deliver that message that he wanted so much to share for his mama? I mean, this lovely son wanting to lift the heart of his mom, and was able to use that. Tracy, I think the message was that even though things may seem tragic, there still is a lot of good. We just need to step back and take a look at what's going on around us. Exactly. I think exactly the same thing, Tracy. I think that there's so many reasons why this had to be the story to start off my short stories, because there really is. There's so much in this. If you really piece it apart, there's so much beauty in this story, from this beautiful son who wanted to help his beautiful mom and everyone else, and the gratitude for the community. Amazing story. I love synchronicities more than you know. Hi, Kathy. I know. Aren't they fun when that happens? What an incredible gift to be able to give and to be open to receiving messages from those that have moved on. Thank you, Beth Ann. You got goosebumps, Melissa? Aw, what an amazing reading filled with divine guidance. And that's it, Deborah. I really think it's like divine guidance. And I've learned a long time ago to trust that divine guidance. When I get that, I go with it and I trust. And we all could be a little more like that if we just trust and allow that what we receive is for a reason. And you just have to not always know what the bigger picture is, but just believe that it is. And I also just want to say that the anniversary of that unbelievable event, that unbelievable tragic event, is coming up. And I just want to pour my heart out for all of those people who lost loved ones and friends, and in that you will never be forgotten ever. And the community has continued to be an incredible heart source for so many people, and it really did bring a community together through that hardship. And that's a beautiful story in itself. Inbox me for reading or love spell. What is that? Let me see. Yes, community, go to the library. I will respect the anonymity of the readings and feel bad for asking where this was. My apologies. Hi, Kat. Yeah, I just, it's just, I don't really want to share, names or anything like that. I mean, it's not like a secret or anything, but I don't know. I just want to keep it kind of to it, but I just think there's so many messages in it, and that's what I really want to share. Hi, Susan. Highly recommend. Hi, darling. I apologize for asking. Okay, Mary, our loved ones are still with us spiritually. Our loved ones are still with us spiritually, always. And And I see that more and more. And that's what I really want to do with these letters from spirit is I really, not these letters from spirit, that's Monday nights, Thursdays, is I just want to share little short stories to let you understand how loved ones come around, how they give specific messages, why they bring certain messages forward, that there's always a deeper reason for that. And, in honesty too, like that stage performance, that February 2019, that was my first stage performance solo, where I didn't do it with anybody else. And then wow, here comes this profound thing that it took over the whole audience. And I think I was the only one in that night that did not know what was going on. I was so like clueless to all of it because I was so trying to stay with the sun that I wasn't even aware of what was kind of happening. It was he kind of kept me there, and he really was working with me to get me to understand what he was trying to express. And such a beautiful light he was, is. So if we can just keep our minds open and pay attention, our lives will be so much easier, so much, so much. And Kayla, getting goosebumps. Hi, Kayla. Hi, Kim. Hi, Monica. That's not a coincidence, right? It's not a coincidence, right? And that's why I just said, okay, Spirit showed me the first story. I got it in my mind. We're going to do this. And then boom, exactly the same time I thought what story, that email came in. And definitely divinely guided. And guys, we are all divinely guided. That's the thing. All of us are divinely guided. There is no coincidence to that. We are all divinely guided if we just stop and we pay attention and we move with it. There is so much love within our communities, as this showed the hearts of people when you really it really gave an example of the love of others, that there is great love within our hearts. And we have to remember that even through these times of hard times that's going on in life. It's a sign. Let's see what else. Let's see. Let me see here. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Monica. I hope I get a message from my daughter. Her 11 months. Okay, I miss her so much. I'm sorry, Lisa. I'm not doing readings here, but I am very sorry. If you want to book a reading with me, you can go on my website and just book a personal reading. There's a page there. You can do that, honey. Okay. I hope my loved one has a message for me. Hi, Amber. I'm not doing readings here, darling. I'm sharing stories. This is about sharing you. So whether you choose to have a reading or not have a reading, I just want you to know that the love from the spirit world is always surrounded by you, and we're always surrounded by that great love and that support. And so I just think these little stories might be a lovely way to kind of help you understand that deeper through sharing real stories that I've given through my reading. So every Thursday I'm going to come on, I'm going to give a new story, and then we'll talk a little bit about it, and I'll feel inspired on what story I should speak about. And I'll make sure that I'm sure they will have different aspects to them, right? So you can see the different ways the spirit world work with us to help us forward. I want to remind you guys also that on November 7th and 8th, I have two small group readings I just added because the other one sold out real quick. And so I just added them. It's going to be Saturday, November 7th from 5 to 6:30 and Sunday, November 8th from 4 to 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. Okay. So you can go on my webpage of my upcoming events page on my website, and you can grab a ticket if you want to come to that on my upcoming events page, monicatrillings.com, and you can grab a ticket and have a connection. They're a fraction of the cost of a personal reading. Everyone who joins in will get a reading, so everyone will receive a reading when you book a small group. I make sure of that one way or the other. And there was somebody who didn't actually get a reading when I just did it 2 weeks ago, and so I'm seeing them privately, and I'm going to give them a reading private. So anyway, so you will get a reading from me. So if you join my small group, okay. Hi, Kelly. In tears. Oh, anyway, getting goosebumps. Okay, good. So I just thought it would be kind of fun. So do you like the idea of sharing stories? So do you like this idea? And do you like Thursdays at 5? Does that work for you guys? 5 o'clock Pacific time. Let's see. Thank you, Monica, for sharing so much positivity with us all. Oh, thanks, Kat. Hi, Pamela. Thank you for sharing. Hi, Lorraine. Oh, hi, Lorraine. I just saw Lorraine today for a reading. Hi, Monica. My reading today was absolutely wonderful. Everyone should have a reading. They give so much hope. Ah, I like your butterfly. Thank you, Lorraine. Can I ask your opinion? I know there's a specific meaning of finding pennies and dimes, but what about a quarter? That's up to your loved ones, what you mean. I don't think there's a difference between a penny, a quarter, or a dime. I think that it's just how your loved ones want to drop signs, and maybe a quarter it's bigger than a penny, right? So maybe they're wanting to get a message to you in a bigger way. Stop, pause, listen to how do you feel when you receive the quarter? How do you feel when you receive a quarter? So, what does that mean to you? What does the quarter represent to you? There's information in that. Messages always have multiple messages. So, there's a message within the quarter. So, ask yourself, how does this feel when you receive a quarter? Well, your answer is in how you feel, right? Because they're working with you. Your loved ones are working with you to give it to you. You're not sitting with the medium, you're actually getting it. So, they're going to impress something upon you to feel when you receive the quarter. So, pay attention to how you feel. Okay. So, hope that helps you, darling. Okay, love it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, loved it. Good. How do you get through the holidays during the first year? By being gentle to yourself. By being gentle. I think the first of everything is always the hardest, right? The first birthday, the first anniversary, the first Christmas, the whole thing. But to also know it will only be the first once. And just remember, it's just being strong and be brave, but honor your emotions and honor your feelings, and just know it's a first, but it'll only be the first once. Okay, so that shall give you a little bit of hope to know it shall get easier a little bit in time, but be gentle with yourself. Okay. um, okay, so Tracy is responding to, okay, good. I love that you're sharing these with us. I've had 2 readings with Monica, and I highly recommend her if anyone would like to get one. She's genuine and amazing. Thank you, Deborah. Thanks, Debbie. I appreciate that, honey. Hey, Veronica. This is a great idea. I love hearing what others have experienced. And it's kind of part of a little bit like small groups, right? Because um, Veronica, you were in a small group, right? And of course, your small group was your private with all your peeps, but you even got to receive messages from everybody. And so it is really nice to hear other people receiving messages. And although short stories isn't going to be about receiving messages, but you will take something from the messages that I'm going to be giving you through other people's messages. So, and that's my hope. My hope is you'll leave with a lifted heart a little bit, and to know that the loved ones are around you. So that's my hope for this this little time together to do short stories. Okay, so I just wanted to come on and share a little bit. And thank you guys for coming on and being a part of this. I'm so grateful. And if you know me or you've had readings with me, I'm super, super passionate about this work. You know that. And you know that I love, love, love making these connections. And I'm really passionate to work with the spirit world. And this is just another way that I can let others understand that mediumship is beautiful, and it's filled with love, and it's filled with healing, and it's filled with wonderful messages that our hearts need. And it's different for everyone, and that's why I'll share different stories, but it's perfect for whatever it is that you need during that reading time. So you always will get what you need, and I love that. And that mama today that I shared, she got what she needed, and I'm so happy about that. And she was beautiful and just so wonderful. And I just anyway, so okay. I could just go on and on, but I'm just going to share this story because I had a lot of little points I needed to bring to get you to understand why I made that the first story. Okay, so any last words here? Any other questions? The message is love never dies. Correct. Correct. Love never dies. It's always there, and it's always around you. I came in late. Did we talk about what a great logo you came up with for this Thursday share? I loved it. Wasn't that cute, guys? Come on, that little ad, wasn't that so cute with the little things coming down? I just loved it so much. It was so cozy. I was so happy when that all kind of came together. And again, spontaneous, right? Because I literally created that, an hour after I realized I was going to be doing short stories. It just, once, spirit inspires you, you just can't stop. It's like, that's how I am anyway. When they start impressing inspiration on me, I just can't put the brake on. I just keep going. And I just, and I love how they just give me that energy to move in that direction. So, and know that Spirit does that with you too. So pay attention to things you're inspired to do. Okay, know that's a sign. All right. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. And you guys have the most amazing weekend. Okay, have a wonderful weekend. Be good to yourself. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you guys Monday for Letters from Spirit, which will be on Monday Facebook Live. Okay, so we'll be back with another great letter from the guides helping us forward. Okay, so until then, you guys be amazing. And thank you so much for coming in. Okay, and I hope you enjoyed. So, and we'll get better with this. You know, I just wasn't winging it. So we'll keep improving this as it'll just kind of create its own life. And so I'm just going with it. So, okay. So until next time. Bye.